excited and grateful for the opportunity to be the PM Guild coordinator, but it would not be without the mentorship and just watching with the way Renee led the guild and coordinated us and moved us forward. The presence that he brought, his openness, the way that he encouraged curiosity and debate. Just feel really fortunate to have been able to watch him over the last season and a half, and huge shoes to fill, and grateful for the opportunity. So Renee, if you are watching the recording, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate getting to learn from you. And then congrats to all the new role holders. We are across the board. We have new role holders. So we'll hear from each of them and a little bit about what they have planned for season 6. If you haven't had a chance, we did run a retro on 10/28. Here's the recording and the Miro board is there. Not only was it a great retro, but it also, for anyone who's interested in running a retro, we ran kind of like a shadow version of it where I helped coach through, and it might be a good learning opportunity to watch it, see the mechanics of it. This could definitely be a learning asset if it was something that anyone was interested in. But a lot of good stuff came out of that, and we still need to mine some of those actions and get them on the board. But really appreciated that conversation and heading into the season.
We have a few retros taped. Maybe we should put them all in the same place on Notion. I think that there's like a retrospective section on Notion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because Lynx, what I did was I went and watched the one you did, and I created like a document, almost like kind of like a script or a walkthrough doc that I used with, and I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly, Olawami Bumaye or Bumai. Sent that in advance, and so I was able to go watch a retro, learn from that, link it up to the Miro board, and then write up kind of a walkthrough and a script almost. Yeah, they're nice learning materials.
Yeah, and it's as we're gathering our learning materials, it's good to put them all in the same spot. I can take that link that you have in the meeting notes and put it in this other retrospective spot.
Oh, great! Thank you.
Thank you. So actually, that is a task that I have on the Cambion board.
Sweet. The one thing I cannot give an update on, I was hoping Renee was here for, is the status of our season 5 coordinate. I believe the results are confirmed, but I don't know that payment has gone out yet. I believe you're a signer on the multi-sig links. Do you have any update on that?
Let me check right now. And you can go on to do something else while I am checking.
I will. Yeah, thank you. Mikhail, you had put something out last season, and I wanted to make sure we carried that thread through, a logo contest for the PM Guild. Any update on that, or what are the next steps on that? Mikhail, are you available to give an update on that?
GM, everyone. Sorry, I had bad timing there. So can you repeat what she said?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know if you had an update. You had put together, it was at the very end of the season and into the break week. So I wanted to see, did you have any update on the logo contest and next steps for that?
Yeah. So I've developed the documents. I was planning on announcing the local contest before the end of this call, which I will still do. It will be open to all PM Guild members, all PM Guild members, but voting indicated to only PM active members and Design Guild Artisan tag. Because the last one I held in the Relationship Guild was prone to some gating, and I'm trying to learn from my mistake there to try to prevent something like that here. So I would drop the information regarding the contest before the call ends. Now tag the PM members to it as well. So we should the contest should start officially today before this call ends.
The contest will start today?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Mikhail. Appreciate it. Next news bite is season 5 to season 6 transition brainstorm. This is just a Notion item. We likely need to break this out into more tasks. But it was just kind of a brainstorm of things that were on my mind, and I asked the other role holders, what's on your mind in terms of what you need to transition and close season 5 and move into season 6. One of those is the multi-sig, which is something we've been discussing as well. I know, Lynx, you put up a task for yourself to archive our Kanban board. Is that still something you're doing?
I'm sorry, Jacob, before they talk on that, I want to ask Mikhail if the votes will only be gated by active PM Guild or members, or it will be both PM Guild members and Design Guild. Sorry,
Nikhil, did you hear the question?
did you get what I said?
We did hear what you said, or I heard what you said. I think Michaela, if you're able to respond, because I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think Jacob already typed it. I was saying that will the contest only be available for people in PM Guild, or it is both PM Guild and Design Guild actually? And the voting process, how is it going to be? Is it only going to be active contributors or everybody in PM Guild? And also in Design Guild, also we have artisan and apprentice actually. So I want to know if it will be for everybody, or it's only going to be for only PM Guild or for artisan in the Design Guild.
We may need to wait for a text update from
Yeah,
Nikhil. Okay, there you go.
Big one. Thank you for that question. When I go up the form, the Google Docs, everything is there. But I'm guessing the designs will be open to the Design Guild members as well, but only to the artisan part. Because I feel there are some Design Guild members that are also in the project management guild. So if they are holding the project management guild tag, they can also submit their own designs. But the voting will be gated to only PM Guild active members and Design Guild artisan tag. It will be gated to only those two. And then it will be a single phase. All voting will be a single phase, just one voting. And then the top 3, we are picking one vote, but the top 3 will get rewards. Yeah, basically that.
Okay.
But I'll drop the doc so you could have a
No.
look at it just for transparency.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mikhil. Great question. So yeah, I was just wrapping up season 5 to season 6 transition. So there's gonna be quite a bit of work in here. We can break out into some tasks, and as we just talked about, that active membership status, completing work on the Kanban board is one of the best ways to contribute to the guild and also earn or keep your active membership. So we'll actually be talking about a proposal on that next. There was just one Lynx. I believe you put up a task for yourself on archiving season 5 off of the board. Is that something you're still doing?
Yeah, I can absolutely do it. I can do it during this meeting. I just wanted to, I could show someone else how to do it
Okay.
as well. If that's something that's interesting, just so it's not just me who knows how to do it. It's also not rocket science. So so like I could just do it, and then I even if I get hit by a bus or something, I'm sure someone can figure out how to archive these ports. But yeah, I'll do it. We can do it during this meeting.
Yeah, I'll get through a little bit more of the agenda, and maybe at the end you can do a quick live demo of that.
Cool. And just as to close the loop on the coordinate, it is not a queued transaction
Okay.
on the multi-sig, so it's not there.
All right, let me put that up here.
Link, so you're able to initiate the transaction? And
I could maybe do it. I would need. I think that somewhere further up on the PM Guild, there was the actual transaction itself. For some reason, right now at this moment, Parcel Parcel.money, which is how we get our kind of like gas-free multi-sends, is not loading for me. I think that they're just down. Sometimes it happens, but I can do that. I just need to find the right spreadsheet. So if there is a link to a spreadsheet that someone could send me, that would be helpful.
You got it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for looking into that, Links. Appreciate it. So I want to get to our season 6 active member calculation criteria proposal. We spent quite a bit of time this week talking this through. I want to make sure that switched screens for everyone. Are you seeing? No, let me pull down the share and pull back up the governance doc. I'm going to share a governance document that we've been working on this week. And let's see. There we go. Yeah. Nope. Give me 1 second here. There we go. The section I really want to call your attention to is the active. The active guild membership. And we took there was a chat, or I should say a Notion page that had this in it, and we worked through a lot of questions. We got a lot of feedback, and then moved this into, for this season, one of the big goals is to have documented governance. We're asking ourselves a lot of questions that, as we've grown as a guild, are really important for us to have a governance framework and structure to go back to. And this will be one of the big pieces that we all talk through and vote on together. I'm hoping that at the end of the day today, I could put up a poll, unless there is more discussion and comments that we need around this. So Links, you had asked a really good question around, what are the benefits and what will an active guild member get? And so I put this list together. Number one is something we still have to establish, but was thinking receive a season-specific minted credential from the PM Guild multisig indicating they achieved active membership status for their on-chain resume. Gaining PM Guild active member gated voting rights. We just talked about that with things like the logo, and there's a lot of, especially voting in elections. This is really important, and things that we're going to do throughout the guild as you help shape the direction. Having those voting rights are really important. Being able to apply for and be elected into a paid role holder position. Being granted edit access to the PM Guild Notion site. You can claim PM Guild bountied work. Be eligible for the end of season guild coordinate round, and this is again something to be coming, but obtaining PM Guild upskilling credentials from the PM Guild multisig for on-chain resumes. So if you're able to run retrospectives, getting a credential from the PM Guild multisig, that's on your on-chain resume, and then you're able to earn bank throughout the guild. Throughout the DAO running retrospectives. So those were some of the things that I thought about. And documented down, but there may be more, or there might be some questions on this. So I'll pause there for a moment and see if there's any discussion on that.
GK, I also put the link to this in the chat here.
Oh, thank you.
To open it up and comment on there if they can't, speak right now or however, but the link's in the chat.
Great, thanks, Sprinkles. All right, I will scroll down. So the change that we're making here is really about staying active from a meeting participation standpoint, but really what we want is to encourage encourage bringing value to the guild. And so what we have proposed is that seasonally all PM Guild active roles in Discord will be removed except for the role holders that are elected. Active members from the season will retain their active membership through week 2. And this is for, if you look at the next paragraph, allows the PM Guild active members to use the first 2 weeks of the new season to retain their active membership status. And it also allows us to have active members so we can do things like voting. The bounties can be claimed in those first 2 weeks while you're working on re-enabling your active membership, or new members are claiming their membership. So then at the end of the second week of the new season, active membership will be removed and reset for anyone that has not used the first 2 weeks of the new season to achieve and retain that active membership status. And I will pause on that before I get into ways of achieving active membership to see if there's any discussion.
But GCal, I think I still have that one question of what if nobody is able to achieve active membership? What then?
Yeah, we'd be at a point where only the role holders would be the active members.
Okay.
Yeah, so at the end of week 2 of the new season, if no one has achieved or maintained their active membership status, which would mean like you didn't show up for the first 2 meetings or didn't complete 2 tasks on the Kanban board in the first 2 weeks, only the active members would be only elected role holders would be the active members. And I'm willing to be. I'm putting this out here for discussion, so please challenge me. This is my first shot at putting some kind of governance proposal up for vote.
Hey, sorry.
No, I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Nope, I'm good.
Yeah, I guess my Discord just kind of crapped out, so I missed a bunch. But are we talking about like kind of clearing the active members at the end of the season?
Yeah. So what we're proposing is we would almost roll over active membership through week 2 of the new season, so that way we still had individuals who could pick up the bounties, the guild bounties, and we could still vote on things in the first 2 weeks. Otherwise, if we cleared it, the only people that would have that would be elected role holders for the first 2 weeks.
Is there a benefit to clearing it season over season? Like, what is the benefit of doing that? Like to go to 0?
The benefit that I'm seeing is one, having encouraging delivering value into the guild, so continuing to pick up work and bring work valuable work back or operational work, but also having the context of continuing to attend meetings too. And right in without clearing it, how do it'll just continue to grow and get stale, and then we'll have individuals who aren't as connected to the guild able to vote and able to pick up bounties and potentially take bank away from people who are active.
I think we should remove members.
Okay.
But I guess that season point, rather than having like a season point where like at the end of the season everyone is at, I guess, 0. Why not just have like over the last month point, or like just whatever the last month was, and then it encourages people to be active every month or something like that. Like why this season as the
it probably was the end of the season coordinate I was holding on to.
I see.
Now, yeah, that's probably the only thing that ended up anchoring me there.
Even for the end of the season coordinate, like we kind of want people to like. First of all, we kind of want to bounty people out for stuff they're doing. So the coordinate hopefully will get smaller as we start bountying more things. So I guess like the reason why I'm thinking that we should do in a month is I think that like if we have more experiments on our active membership, rather than doing one season and seeing like, oh, okay, what did we accomplish? What did we get better at? What did we get worse at? Maybe if we do them in like month spurts, we can kind of see how this idea of active membership might promote people doing things in the guild.
Okay.
That was just my
It definitely will, because it's not like set it and forget it. Like I achieve my active membership, coast, just do a few things here and there, maybe collect something in the coordinate at the end.
Yeah, and that also wouldn't leave us with a period of we may only have 4 members, because that's where I'm stuck, is that the possibility of that happening if we reset, because we're doing it because we don't want to just have 4 members, but then there's the chance that we could if we reset to 0.
So at the end of every month or the beginning of the new month, we would, and this is something we need help from Jay Fanny, the accounting workstream lead. We'd want to calculate and have a fresh distribution or reset of the role
So I'm not anti what you said. I just wonder why accounting as the role responsible for understanding active membership.
That might just have been a bad assumption that that activity goes along with that work stream lead, but you're right, they don't have to be the one doing the work.
In my head, I thought it was talent, and
Yeah.
since we had different ideas, I think it's worth some alignment.
Yeah, I tied it. Renee would ask, Jay Fanny would run it, and then we opened up this accounting role, and I just assumed that was part of that role, probably because Jay Fanny had been doing it. And Jay Fanny, I'm speaking for you, but I'd love for you to talk through that, what your thoughts were.
I get you. Well, I've been handling that role before. I've been handling that task. It's a task before I got elected as the accounting role holder. So I think somebody else can take that now. You know, having the active membership calculated. It's not part of accounting job at all.
Okay. So I'd love to hear, so what are thoughts on that? We move to a month by month versus season by season?
I didn't get that. Is that for me?
It's for out for discussion to the entire guild. I like the behavior that incentivizes of continuing to stay active month over month, showing up, adding value.
Yep, I agree with that.
Second that.
All right, so sounds like we have a motion to move to month over month.
Is there anyone who's kind of in dissent? Is there anyone who feels differently? Okay.
Links, what are thoughts on? I know we use a KPI at the end of the season right now around our active member status, and we use that for budget into the next season as well. Any thoughts on that being an issue if we have a down month at the end and people kind of fade off? So we come into the end of the season kind of low. Would we want to use some kind of rolling average of active members through the season for our season 7 proposal and budget?
So according to what's on the forum now, it feels like everyone is saying that there is a 3-month time window for active membership. So that means that if we do our active membership every month and we have a down month, we could count all active members over the entire month. So basically we would have a list. There'd probably be a lot of duplication on that list, but if you remove the duplication, those are our active members for the season. So we have our monthly active members and we have our seasonal active members. And by calculating our monthly active members, we understand who our seasonal active members are.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think that was the other thing that was stuck in my head too, was it had to be season by season for funding. All right, so I will rewrite this, or Sprinkles and I will work on this to update it to talk about being month over month. That takes care of some of the gaps that were in our head around this whole first 2-week thing we were trying to come up with some mechanism for. So then we got into how can you achieve active member status, be elected a role holder, and that's earned immediately upon election, completing 2 tasks on the Kanban board. And we just talked about what some of the work is here. There's operational work, helping the guild run its day-to-day or advancing seasonal objectives within each work stream. You might be creating assets, so helping to create long or short-term assets that bring value to the guild. And an asset might even be inviting and bringing a guest speaker to one of our weekly syncs, hosting a roundtable. Like thinking, you don't have to think about assets in a physical way, but how you're bringing knowledge and value back to the guild. And then learning materials. And learning materials was the only one we put a little bit of a criteria on. So creating learning materials on project management or holding a training session for guild members. And what we want to just do is validate what that is. So the learning material being reviewed by either the education workstream lead or the education workstream lead's delegated proxy or committee to say, yep, that is material that we want to teach. Let's go ahead and run that, and that will count towards active member. towards active membership. And then meeting attendance, we were proposing rolling attendance criteria of 3 of the last 6 weeks, which sounds like that's what it originally was, and at some point it changed to just 2 over the course of the season. So let me pause there to see if there's any discussion or dissent or clarification.
So just on the education stream, designated proxy sounds like kind of a big term. My thought was to have the guild, like have the education session presented to the guild and have that, everybody say like, yeah, looks good, need some work. So I don't know if you,
Yes, I'm happy to.
proxy's fine, but the guild, guild members is good too.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yep. All right. If we are good there, Sprinkles, let's you and I will clean this up in the doc, and I will put this up for vote today, or at the latest tomorrow, and we'll let this run for 1 week, and then we will bring the it'll be the first thing we ratify into our governance document.
Okay. Do we want to move all the way down, or should we split it up into sections? So that's all taken from what we'd already voted in season 5.
Yep.
And so the budget's in there.
Yes.
Those are all from the season budget. And right here is where we have a couple more questions, I think.
Yeah. So is this where we had we're talking about the Notion administration? Is that where you want the next piece, or we want to go to coordinate?
Yeah, I think probably the coordinate. So that 50,000 is what is on. So Jay Fanny must have submitted a budget on the Notion page, which looks great. That's the amount that's there. So,
Jay Fanny, is that something you can speak to?
Well, I made a budget. It's something I wanted to talk about later because I added something in the meeting for the Notion. So I made a budget. I was still looking forward to talk to you about it. So probably we should review it and see if it is okay for us to carry on with the budget. You can actually check it. It's on the Notion page, accounting. So it's quite okay for me, but you can review it and give your views about it.
All right, so I think the ask then is for us to do some review, and we could talk about that async and maybe at the next meeting.
Yeah.
And then Sprinkles, did we want to talk about the Notion piece here?
Yeah. Did we say it was going to be? It's better split up into bounties because that's what the guild needs, or?
I'm less familiar with this. I know through the discussion we've had, sync and async, it sounded like we were leaning towards this 13,000 bank that we have for Notion administration, splitting that up into tasks.
Yes.
I think you should just have a Notion administrator personally, because it's not a lot, 13K. So what are you going to, is it going to be 13 1-hour tasks? Is that what you're expecting?
I mean, possibly. I know. So take the archiving that you're doing right now. Is that, would you be picking that up off the bounty board, or, the Kanban board? Would that, because we wanna, get you compensated for it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if
And I'm
you
just using you as
understood
the-
what the tasks would be, I guess if you wanted something done would you want to like wait for someone to like pick up a bounty and then B, like have to kind of like review whether or not they did what you said, or do you just want to say like add these people, remove these people, right? Like that's kind of why you might have a role, is because they're like a trusted person to do this stuff, right? So I guess that's what I was a little bit worried about, is that like with bounties, like the overhead might be more than you need for this particular role, since it's not a lot and it's not as well defined. But that's just
Yeah, no, that sounds exactly right, thinking it through. And would we just want to make sure that that person has the, Notion, is a Notion ninja? Or no? I would think, probably.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how is this typically done then? Do we need to run an election for this?
Yeah, I think you can run an election for it probably.
Okay. All right, so let's put it out to the guild. It sounds I'm hearing some consensus, at least from the discussion, that we want to have this role, and we'll move to an election. How do other feels? They approve, dissent?
Jem has a question that she posted in the channel. I don't. It's for the previous thing that we talked about. You can't talk right now, huh, Jem? But yeah,
I tried to earlier. I just didn't get it in time. Sorry.
Okay. In terms of the Notion stuff, anyone else have anything? As GCal was asking, sorry, I thought your thing was dissent on in the Notion channel, but maybe we can answer your question. That previously being you, if I reset my, isn't that even more work than redoing it every season? Not every season, every month. So, Jem, the idea behind it was that we wouldn't reset it to 0. Like, I guess like the difference between the season proposal and the month proposal was that at the season we were kind of saying like, okay, you now have to do tasks to be considered an active member. But for the month over month proposal, we were saying like, what happened over the last month? Did people do tasks? Oh, they did? Okay, those are active members. And the people who didn't do tasks are no longer active members. So there's like this difference between having that like hard date and the tasks that they had done. I don't know if I'm articulating it correctly. Does that make sense?
No, because they'll have done tasks over the last season, right? And the season is still a hard date compared to the month, right?
We were talking about the season like being like, doesn't matter what you did last season, starting the first day of the new season, you're no longer an active member. Even if you did like a task like the day before the season started. Whereas the month over month was saying like, okay, what did you do the last month? What did you do the last 30 days? Okay, did you do a task? Okay, you're an active member.
That makes more sense.
Am I describing it accurately, GCal?
Yeah, you are. I definitely took it. This was an odd one to wrap my head around, but now that we have talked it through, I like the month over month a lot. And Jem, do you feel good about it? Any more discussion you want to have on it? Please feel free to use the forum to do that.
Oh, that was just my question. I don't really have any say. This is my first time even listening in. Sorry.
No, actually, we really value everyone's feedback. Or thoughts on it.
And Jem, you are one meeting already. You are towards active membership. So we appreciate you being here, and thank you for speaking up and asking the question.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to move out of governance now. We've got just under 20 minutes left, so I want to stop streaming, and I'm going to bring the Notion back up. So I want to give the role holders, the newly elected role holders, a chance to talk about their vision and some things they'd like to work on and what they need your help for this season. And we will give my voice a break. I really appreciated getting to chat through this and talk about these governance items that set us up for success. So thank you for that time. All right, let's see. I am going to scroll down. And let's go. Mikhail, would you like to start about what are your thoughts for season 6? How do you want to set things up, and what do you want to kick this off with? What do you need from all of us?
Yeah. GM. I don't know. Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you, Mikhail, but it's pretty faint.
Okay. What about now?
Way better.
Way better.
Okay. Cool. So I want to start this season off with the logo contest, which I will be announcing pretty soon. And then I know we had this sort of problem last season where members were like confused as to how to contribute in the guild, and also how to like get themselves the active member tags and everything. So I'm working on drafting out a set of tags that will be up on the Kanban board. Basically PM focus tags and Web3. So I'll set them up on the Kanban board, and then I'll announce to members who have the project management guild tag, only the project management guild tags to take up the tags and volunteer. Then I can assign them to the tags on the Kanban board. So the goal of this is to like get as many people to participate in the guild, and also to get themselves the active member tags to be able to participate in the guild's governance process as well. And then I would love to work with the education work stream lead, which is Sprinkles, to also like get more folks educated, and get them to understand how to use the project management guild to its best fulfillment, and also to like get tools done. You know, last season we had I'm pretty sure we projected to have much more tools done, but we had less than that. So I'll be setting up a task to look into why we had less guild coming for red tools, and how to like get them to like come in for red tools, making them see why they need to have a red tool and everything like that. So that will be also be a task on the Kanban board pretty soon. So that's basically what I have for this season. I'll be putting in more tasks soon. So because I'm actually at the moment I'm developing the tax boards and everything. So I made a separate notion for myself on my personal notion, which I added GCal. So they don't want to review the tax when I'm done before I put them up on the Kanban board.
Hey, Mikhail, I missed a little bit of what it was you were going to work with Sprinkles on. So if you want to just update that, there's some minutes here on the work for that task. That'd be great in Notion.
Yeah. So what I meant was that I wanted to work with Sprinkles to get folks educated about PMing in Web3, so
Okay.
they can understand how important it is in the DAO, and how to also get other guilds to come in for retros, because we had less of that last season.
All right, great. Sprinkles, how about for you? What are you thinking for this season?
So my mind's racing for this season. But really, we need to like hash out the whole education content. I do have in the Notion tasks up, and kind of pulling everything together that we have already, and then if we need to build out some more, we can, and then it's just a matter of getting it up on the server, and also like artwork and things like that. But that'll come in after we have everything, like a database of all the material for each section. So sections that I have that I think are good, and I would love more input on this. What is a Web3 project manager? The philosophy of problem solving, agile philosophy, There's been strategy for KPIs and OKRs, road mapping, like these are planning, road mapping and spirit planning. And then for execution, effective workflow, asynchronous, and then a retrospective, which we do have a lot, of great material on and videos. Thank you. And then there's also tools that so I'm going to kind of do the tools in two sections, like one, like tools that DAOs use or that, we think DAOs use. And then one, tools specifically for project management. And I know you'd say like, why not just project management? I think a project manager should be, should know about all the tools used, and then, specifically the ones that they'll be using or may possibly be using. So from each section, like we need to find vocabulary words, quiz material, design, and then put it up on Bankless Academy's Notion. I've had a couple things submitted, and we actually had I'm kind of bummed that he or she isn't here. Fabio Crypto is the member's name. Submitted like an awesome overview of one of the items on the board, and was really looking forward to getting active membership and wanted a next something else to do. So I'm curious everyone else's input on those sections that I just talked about. They're in the Notion page also.
Yeah, I started typing them out, and I remember there's a huge list of them in Notion. So I was like, I'll just point everyone to the board.
Yeah, and I started to mark off like for season 6 in case that somebody was going to go in and clean up the board. So I started to tag off season 6, and then I think I got caught up doing something else and didn't get all the season 6 tags on them. But anything done in the
Hey, Sprinkles, what are thoughts? I know last season we had hoped, and this wasn't a you thing; it was just a caught in transition thing. To have some credentialing out of whether it's Mint Kudos or another platform. What are thoughts on being able to have credentialing this season?
For taking the course?
Well, I think there's probably a few different things we could work through. There are the skills right now that we could, if someone in the guild is capable of running a retrospective, we could issue them credentials. But then eventually, once they've completed one of these courses we built, hopefully they would earn a credential at the end.
So I think my thoughts are that we could credential like the contribution to making it, and that would have to be a little bit worked out of how. But then also taking the course, credential that, and if it's like specifically done in sections, that's good. And then there could be an overall course credential too.
Cool.
It can come from the multi-sig and go right through. There's a few different options.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I know Lynx, you were working with Great on a logo for like the BB PM cohort, and it'd be nice if there are different things that we can credential to start being able to allow for that.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about Great's thing is that there's some text that he can easily change.
Okay.
And so he changed it for the BBPM. So he could do he could just do a text change, and Design Guild pays like 500 bank per change, so we could do something similar to that.
Yeah, so like if we had a template, say, and then we could also just,
All right. Anything else for Sprinkles?
Does anyone have any input on the like the outline or any tasks or anything?
Jay Fanny, tell us what's up for you this season.
Jim, this season, I think I'm working with the sheets that you sent to me I tried modifying it and uploading it to track bounties. So I modified the sheet so we could have a better way of tracking our bounties. Now I think at the end of the day we're going to upload this link on our Notion page so that the person that gave the bounty should actually post the link so that we can know, okay, this bounty is done and is ready for payment. So I think that's a way to track our bounties. Aside from that, as I mentioned before, our budget. I've done that, and we're just waiting for review. I think we are going to work on that async, myself and Jikal. Then finally, there's a proposal on rolling out funds quickly before the end of the season, not just waiting till the end of the season. Once tasks are done or bounties are done, we should roll out funds early. I think we are still talking about that. There are talks ongoing on that. I think that's what I have for now. That's what I have for now.
JP, I just want to make sure I paraphrase that correctly.
Okay.
So we're talking about running payroll more often than just at the end of the season?
Yeah.
From month by month?
Yeah.
Which probably is important to now that we're moving to the month-to-month active membership too. That probably makes more sense. I don't know that they have to be tied, but it might just be a nice way to go from rather than right now we're carrying a huge payout all the way to the end of the season, 13 weeks.
Makes sense.
And then from a bounty perspective, I know we've talked, Links, you've put it out there a few times. I think Sprinkles, you've taken a look at it. But using the, we have a lot of reoccurring bounties that for guild operations, but using the IOU function, is that who typically would put those bounties up?
I think it depends on. We don't have to put the bounties up. We could just use the IOU function, right? Like you don't have to put a bounty up. You can just say like, we can just say like, the guild coordinator is responsible for when someone records a video and drops the link that they do, the guild coordinator can just be like, okay, IOU, and it's a really quick way to record things, right? Like it doesn't have to be a bounty that's created. Reoccurring bounties don't exist yet, but that's something that may exist soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So after this, it'll actually be a good test for me. I will put one up for Vicky1 for the recording. I'll do an IOU.
Yeah. I mean, it might be you who does it, or it might be Jay Fanny as the accountant who might want to do that. Because then at the end of the month, they can just go to Bounty Board and see like, hey, I'll export this to CSV, and now it is ready to go for parcel money or something.
Jay Fanny, is that something we can put on you as a responsibility as the accounting lead?
Yeah, sure. Since I'm even tracking bounties on D-Work and also that's fine.
All right, we are getting close to the end. I will give my update quick. I really wanted to give a chance. I know I've done a lot of talking, and I really wanted to give a chance for the guild coordinators, the guild workstream leads to talk about their vision for the season. So when I think about this season, I really tried to kind of zoom out and think about it from a run and a grow standpoint. Something that I think is engulfed the first week is governance. And we're starting to build that out today. And we had our first, we talked through the active membership proposal. You can see we've got a draft governance document out there. I had just was putting out here, is there a model guild that we should start from? I was going through all of the different ones and happened to read through the Writers Guild, and it looked very nice. But I didn't know if anyone had a recommendation of, myself, GCal, I'm new to governance and I'm getting up the learning curve on it. So if you have recommendations of really solid guild governance that feels close to the type of guild we are, please pass it my way and let me know. I'll do some reading. So I don't know if anyone has anything in mind, you can pop in here or DM me, or you could come off mute and say it out loud right now.
So I'm an active member of the Writers Guild. And I will say that their governance, they have a person working on it. They have a role for governance. Their governance is kind of complicated sometimes. Like I feel like sometimes it's overkill a little bit, where it's not bad, right? But I don't necessarily think that we need to go to the level of complexity that they have. That's
Got it. Okay. Anyone come to mind links that we could model after?
Not really. No, I think the people who've been thinking about governance really like to put a lot of text, a lot of rules, a lot of stuff in it, and I'm not about. I like to put the least amount of rules possible, least amount of process possible that we need. So I'm not quite sure. This is just my view from what I have seen. I'm not everywhere in the DAO, so I don't know.
Cool. All right, thanks, Links. So I have here, I'm trying to tag you, but it's not working. I want to work with Jay Fanny. We just talked a bit about an accounting flow. I think, we're entering the season right now. We still haven't paid folks out for last season, and it's something that I'm hoping we can work a little bit more on, and that'd be a success at the end of this season, or even halfway through, or heck, if we're a month in, having a clear tool and process for tracking work and bounties, clear and transparent payment flows, and everyone's going to know when they're going to get compensated for the work that they've done. Especially now that we've moved to this, there's a lot of reoccurring tasks that we have. There's the recording that's being done, the upload, there's the Twitter poll and meme of the week. There's the weekly roll up from Great, and I think having everyone wait 13 weeks to get paid, I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing by everyone. Then go ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
And then from a growth standpoint, the two things that we hear loud and clear since I've joined the guild is our education. We had a great call with Bankless Academy towards the end of the season. You just heard that from Sprinkles. Unbelievably excited about what the potential is and what we could build out there. So from a KPI perspective, we probably just want to think through how many courses do we realistically think we can launch this season, and set a KPI and a goal for that. So that's not something we have to do today, but I'd love for us to start to shape that. And then from onboarding, from every retro that we've been in, from the Vibes engagement survey we've done, we're getting a lot of interest in folks wanting to join. There's a lot of interest in Web3 PM, a lot of interest in education, a lot of interest in how do I contribute, but we still seem to have, for lack of a term, kind of a barrier to entry of really becoming part of the guild, understanding how to contribute, and then getting educated. Back to the education standpoint of depending on what level I'm at and what I want to learn, where should I start and what can I learn? So that's really from a growth standpoint, the two areas that I'm hoping we can work on this season, and that'll of course be in conjunction with the workstream leads and all of you, where your interests lie and where you want to contribute to get that active membership. All right, we have about 4 minutes left, so I'm going to come down off the share and see if anyone has anything they want to chat, anything for discussion.
So GK, we'll break this up a little bit more, and are you going to put it up for a poll?
Yeah, so what we'll do is hopefully by the end of the day today, if not sometime tomorrow, Sprinkles, I'll redraft what's in the governance doc into a month-to-month language, and then I'll put it up in our governance channel for vote for all active members, and then we can run that for a week. And by the end of a week from today, we can start to track our active membership on month by month. Or maybe I don't know if it'd be cleaner if we pick like December 1st. Whatever we feel would work for a good start date.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, I don't think, I have one more question. Ray, Bankless, can Soball be updated? Or how would we update Soball for this? And also, can it be updated in general, please? Or who would we go to if updated? or if anybody knows.
Well, I can do all the tags, so I have no problem doing that. And it might be any L2 can do the tags. So I can, once we have the first run, I can do that, and then Sobel updates automatically.
Yeah, I feel like it's really off. Maybe take a look at it and see what you think. So
Okay.
that actually brings me to another point. Is I was talking to Brian today in ops, and our channels are askewed, are not like configured how they should be. So I'm not sure, who in the guild would take a look at that. I know nothing about it, but just to bring that to your attention.
Our channels?
Yeah, like so PM voice. Somebody who's not a guest pass, guest pass holder or L1 or L anything can be in the voice channel, speaking and typing.
Okay.
So,
we could
sorry.
go to just the Discord workstream for that.
Okay.
In the Ops Guild,
Okay.
I will tag you.
You know what? I think I've been there. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, I want to respect everyone's time. I again appreciate so much my first meeting. I got a trial run, running one in Renee's absence, so running this today. Thanks for your patience and understanding as I find my way and we find our way into season 6. But I'm just unbelievably excited. Every single time we show up on a Friday, it's a full house. I think we've got some great work ahead of us this season. I'm excited to dig in and learn about governance and have something that we all build together. So, and then we're going to have incredible education. Where you're gonna when you contribute, we're going to have good accounting flows, and then we got McKeel, who's going to help onboard you and help you contribute. I loved what I heard around being able to really help curate, helping you get up and on board and contribute to the guild. But we're only going to build this together. So I am here if you need anything, and I will continue to learn alongside you and just appreciate the opportunity to be here doing this with you.
Thank you, and Jem, thank you. I think you're the only new member here today. But thank you to any new members that are here.
Yes, thank you, Sprinkles. That's a really good point. We will put that at the top of the agenda from now on. Any new members, thank you so much for being here today. We're excited to have you. Please come back and be a part of what we're building here. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.